Your 3-year journey has been phenomenal at UTT. Fast forward to 25 where you're the highest paid Indian.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Senior Indian players out there and just seeing like all the teams wanting me, bidding, going from one team to the other. I was just in shock.
How do you get such an aggressive style of play?
You know, Virat Kohli, the way he is on the court, pure aggression every time he's out there. People know me like this, being an aggressive player. You know, when you really want something and you're really determined about it, I think just go all out. You know, you should not have regrets. We qualified for the WTT finals where we were the first Indians to do so, and only the top
Massive.
8 pairs of the world qualified.
So how did you find Manush?
We were initially playing with different partners, but
It just clicked.
the Ultimate Table Tennis League, like it was started. You know, it's a great initiative because like these kind of leagues really help to, promote the sport. Towards the end of 2023, I had an injury and I narrowly missed out on the Olympics. So definitely, I mean, it was very disappointing.
Is it financially viable to play table tennis for players?
I was very lucky to have the support actually from Olympic Gold Quest.
At a young age?
At a very young age. So when I was 12, they started supporting me. I have a job in Reserve Bank of India. One time when I went, they just sent me back home. But
They go and play.
In China, Japan, Korea, I think they start from a very young age to play the sport. From 3 years or 4 years, they're already playing the sport.
Wow.
Whereas we start 8,
9.
9. Fortunately, table tennis is like a gender equal sport. It's not like there is a difference between the men and women. So that is something that is really great.
Diya, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to start with how do you get such an aggressive style of play? One of the things that is consistent about your gameplay is how there is a lot of aggression in how you play, and also not just that shows not in the gameplay also, but also in the mindset.
Yeah.
So, and that has been like your strength through and through even when you were younger.
Yeah.
So how did that come across? Because I feel like a lot of athletes, they get that over the years, whereas it came early for you.
So honestly, ever since I was young, I think this approach has really helped me, play better. I really noticed this when I was very young. In one of the tournaments, I realized that when I don't cheer myself so much, I don't get my, real game out. So this aggressive mindset, also when I'm playing, but also cheering myself for every point, pepping myself up, that really helps me bring out the best. And I think something like, Virat Kohli, the way he is on the court, it's pure aggression every time he's out there. It's like you can see that will to win, that he wants that every time he's out there, no matter what the score is or what, he has that aggression and that kind of a body language. So I think that is something that really helps me no matter what the score is. And I think people know me like this, being an aggressive player, and that's
Yeah.
something that helps.
So I think this is very interesting because a lot of times as fans, we look at when you pep yourself up, we look at that as like a little bit of being over the top or aggressive. Whereas I've spoken to a lot of athletes who are like this. They think of this as just a way to get themselves
Yeah.
at the best.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you look at Virat also,
Yeah.
he's not necessarily the most aggressive human being in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But that kind of motivates him on the field,
Yeah.
being that or taking a little bit of panga with somebody.
Yeah.
When did this develop for you? Like, was it natural or you had to work
Yeah.
on this?
No, I think it came very naturally to me. Like I said, ever since I was young, every time I play a match, I need that, cheering myself up in every game. And like I said, I don't think I can play like my best if I am not cheering myself and pepping myself up for every point. So that is something that really helps me bring out the best. And
Amazing.
yeah.
And I also saw somewhere that Virat Kohli is also your
Yeah.
idol, so to speak.
Yeah.
Is it because of these personality traits, or is there something else that you also admire about him?
Definitely, like it's a part like of this being so aggressive. And like I said, every time he's out there, you can see that will to win, no matter what. He has that winning mindset, which I really like a lot. And definitely his discipline, even off the field. in terms of his fitness, in terms of his diet, how he changed everything completely from when he
Hmm.
was younger. He
Hmm.
completely changed that.
Hmm.
And, even at this age, to have that, like I said, will to
Hmm.
win, that
Hmm.
even after achieving so
So
much,
much, yeah.
he still wants it that badly. So that
True.
is something that I really look up to.
Amazing. Are there other sports that you or athletes that you look up to or gain something from their personality?
Yeah. So I think in badminton, like, Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu, the way they, completely changed how people look at badminton now in India. Like
Hmm.
previously, it was such a Chinese, Indonesian domination.
Absolutely.
But now, after they broke this myth, that they are better than us and that India can also achieve great things, I think
Absolutely.
it's completely changed how people now look at
Hmm.
badminton in India. And there are so many more upcoming players
Hmm.
who are able to achieve great things. So
Hmm.
it's just about that one step that they did, like they
Hmm.
broke this
Hmm.
myth in everyone's mind that
Hmm.
India can do well. So I think that is
Hmm.
something that I really admire about them.
And you started at a very, very young age, and I think it was you were 8 when you started kind of
Yeah.
uh, really understanding the sport, so to speak. Were there some early influences, whether it was in table tennis or other sports, that really helped you, take the sport seriously?
Not really, actually. When I was younger, I think I was a very, very active child. Like, I could not sit at one place. Even now, honestly, I need to do something or the other all the time. But yeah, like me, my family, and friends, we used to go on a lot of vacations, and I was very, very short. Still am. But yeah, I would never really reach the table. But everyone, like all the friends and family, used to play. Like, there's always a table tennis table everywhere you go in
Hmm.
resorts and all. So they used to play, and I started in Khajim Khana just as a hobby, twice a week, not something
But
like,
sorry, before that, so
yeah.
when the family were playing on vacations, was there somebody who in the family who played semi seriously, or was it just accidental that there were table tennis
No,
tables?
no, no. It was just accidental. I
Hmm.
mean, my dad used to play cricket in the college level and stuff, but
Hmm.
honestly, everyone in my family comes from like a very strong educational background. Everyone is
Hmm.
like teachers, doctors.
Hmm.
So sport was not something that, came naturally in the
Hmm.
family.
Hmm.
But like I said, when we went on vacation, and then I just started it as a hobby. But in the first tournament that I played at the district, I won a bronze medal.
First ever tournament.
First ever tournament that I played,
Wow.
I won a bronze at the district level. So
Hmm.
still, it was not something that I would take up professionally, and not
Hmm.
something that I really knew that I wanted to do this as a
Hmm.
career.
Hmm.
But like it kept on going, and I kept on training. And I think the turning point for me was in 2014 when I won a silver in the under 12 category at the national championships.
So
So
till then, it was like just floating around,
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
How seriously? How much time were you investing before that, like on a daily basis?
So initially it just started with twice a week, and then it was maybe 3-4 days in the week. But
Hmm.
I think, like I said, the turning point where I really thought that this could be a career option was after this tournament, national
National tournament.
championships. Yeah, after this national championship in the under 12 category.
Hmm.
So
So
that,
silver medalist in the
yes,
Unatel. And
yes.
do you remember that match
Definitely, I really remember that match because in the semifinals, I won against a player who I had lost to like multiple
several
times
times?
before, and I had
Hmm.
never won against her. But
Hmm.
that match, I really think that completely changed the way I looked at, table tennis. And after that, there were a lot of changes. Like, that is when I think it actually turned into a passion. Like, I
Hmm.
started going abroad for training,
But
and
sorry, before that,
yeah.
so on in that final, was it? What was the feeling like? Was it like, oh shit, I've lost the final, or was it like, wow, I'm good at this, and
Yeah,
I can, if I do this more seriously?
yeah.
Was it a positive memory or a heartbreaking kind of a memory?
No, I think it was a very positive memory because, like I said, I had never won against this girl who I won against in the
Hmm.
semifinals. So
Hmm.
uh, that really gave me a lot of confidence.
Hmm.
And okay, although I lost the finals, but I think I
Hmm.
was very happy with my performance.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Brilliant. Hmm.
after that, I
And then you
think,
started taking it
yes,
like moving from a hobby to a passion and
yes,
seeing
yes,
something.
yes.
Did you start dreaming at that time of winning like an Olympic medal or something, or was it more, I don't care about what happens in the future, let me just focus on
Yeah.
today?
No, of course. I mean, I think the goal for every athlete is to win, medals for India at the highest
Hmm.
level, the
Hmm.
Olympic, the Asian
Hmm.
Games, and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, that has always been the goal and will always be the
Hmm.
goal for me.
Hmm.
So
Okay. And then moved. Then you started playing in Germany.
Yeah, I started going to Germany for training
Hmm.
because my
How did
coach,
Germany happen?
yeah,
Like, why Germany?
yeah. So my coach Sachin Shetty, he actually made me realize, the difference between just participating and like
Hmm.
representing India
Hmm.
at the major events or winning a medal for India. I think there is a
Hmm.
huge difference between the two.
Hmm.
So he suggested that to try to train abroad and get coaching from much more experienced coaches. So I went to Germany to my coach Peter Engel,
Hmm.
and also going over there, and I think he has so much knowledge. Like he tried to adapt all the techniques or all the uh, basics based on like what suits my game. Like he felt it
Your
was
style,
my style,
your
yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
So he felt like I don't need to copy any certain player, but
Hmm.
what suits to my game. So
Hmm.
that was something that really helped me a lot. Many times it's like we look up to a player and we want to play just like them,
Hmm.
but he made me realize that okay, I can learn a few things from them, but ultimately it's like what my style
Building
is
your
and
own.
how to,
Hmm.
yeah,
Building your own style,
my own
personality.
style,
Yeah.
yeah. And also when I went over there, practicing with the German players, foreign players at a day-to-day basis,
Hmm.
it really removed that fear of mine to play against foreigners. When we go into some tournaments, it's
Hmm.
like we're used to
Hmm.
playing against the Indians, the
That's
local
true.
players, and
Hmm.
then when we go abroad we see new faces, and then
Hmm.
we're so scared to play out there. But
Hmm.
then like practicing with them on a day-to-day basis,
Hmm.
and knowing their style of game, that really
Hmm.
helped me when I played against them even in the international matches.
Hmm.
So
And what was your schedule like? Like in the sense that you were training in Germany, how many months a year, and coming back to
yeah.
India?
So initially, I think it's very important at the early years,
Hmm.
very important for the basic technique, and to be right from a very young age, because
Hmm.
me and my coach, we noticed this, that at a young age, the difference between the top Chinese players, because they are like dominate in the sport,
Hmm.
them and every other player is pretty much the same.
Hmm.
But as you go ahead, it starts to like the
Widen
gap,
up.
yeah,
Hmm.
the gap starts to widen.
Hmm.
So, like I tried to spend almost 3 to 4 months in the year in Germany working on my basic technique and
Hmm.
improving this aspect,
Hmm.
so that to reduce, try to maintain this gap and reduce this gap. So
Hmm.
I was a lot of time away from family, missed many social gatherings.
Yeah, and
So
especially at that age where you're so young
yeah,
and you kind of are more need that support from the
yeah,
family.
yeah,
So how were you managing school? Like you were still enrolled in a school in
yes,
Mumbai
yes,
and then just going there during
yeah.
off periods
Yeah.
or
So my school, Aryavidya Mandir, I think a huge part of my success is because of them. Like when I started traveling for tournaments, for training, they were very supportive, and every time I had to miss school, they were always there. Even for exams, like many times when I was not there, they tried to reschedule it when I was here.
wow.
Yeah, it was like because of
That's
their
so
support.
unheard
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
in Mumbai, where there is this mindset about more about education over sports. I
Hmm.
think this is something, the school support, that really helped me at that time.
Hmm.
And also, if I missed any classes or anything, they used to try to uh, do them
Mm.
for me again when I was here.
Wow.
Also, I think during my 10th, I maybe attended 1 or 2 weeks of school. That's it.
Wow, that's a
So,
huge shout out to the school
yes,
because
definitely.
see, I think retrospectively what you've achieved, if somebody said
Yeah,
that, we know that this player is going to achieve this level,
yeah,
then to give these exemptions is fine.
yeah,
But at that time you don't know.
yeah.
Like if you never made it that big,
No,
then it's just a mindset thing. I think more schools need
definitely.
to kind of
Yeah,
learn from this.
yes.
Massive shout out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I think, my parents are that, like I told you, everyone in my family comes from this educational background. Nobody
Hmm.
really played sports professionally.
Hmm.
But when we had this, like when I made this decision that I want to take up sports professionally and maybe studies would be second in line,
Hmm.
I think their support, like they were all out there to support me, and any decision that I made, they were always there by me. And I
Hmm.
think now they are more invested in the sport than I am.
Hmm.
So definitely, my entire family and my parents, they have played a
So
huge
you
role in
you had
this.
no resistance whatsoever, like family. I mean, they would have also seen
Yeah,
you excel, right? So
yeah,
that makes a huge difference
yeah,
because if you weren't that good, then
yeah,
maybe they might have taken a step back. But everyone in the family supported you all out,
all out.
like amazing.
Yeah,
And when you made all these trips to Germany, how were they financed? Like self-financed fully, or did you have some support from government or any
yeah,
sponsors or anything?
yeah. So I was very lucky to have the support actually from Olympic Gold Quest
At a
from
young
at
age.
a very young age. So it's almost when I was 12, they started supporting me.
Wow.
So I mean, huge shout out to them since
Hmm.
so many years. Their support has really been great and really
Hmm.
helped us manage the financial part.
Hmm.
But of course, we knew that initially it would be much more investment rather than return.
Hmm.
But I think, like I said, my family, and we knew this, that okay, in the starting it would be much more of an investment,
Hmm.
but later on it would definitely pay off.
Hmm.
And also, like now, after so many years, I think the one good thing in India is that we get jobs based on our sporting performances.
Correct.
So like I
Hmm.
have a job in Reserve Bank of India.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You look too young to be working in Reserve Bank of India.
Yes.
Sounds so serious.
No,
What do you do there?
I'm an assistant manager, but one time when I went, they just sent me back home. But
Like,
yeah,
go and play.
yeah.
So you've gone
So
there one time.
no, I've been there 2 3 times, but
2 3 times.
but yes, like
How long have you been employed?
it's almost 3 years now.
So you've been 3 times in three
No, no,
years.
no,
That's
but
the job I want.
yeah, it's
Brilliant.
it's
Huh?
it's a
But
great.
OGQ started supporting you from 12.
Yes.
We've been trying to get Viren on this podcast for
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
so many weeks, but
He's he
he's
is.
like the magician from behind,
Yes.
and
Yeah, he's
yeah.
he's great. I mean, the support that I've got from them,
Hmm.
and like I was telling, these jobs, they really provide this stability that
Hmm.
allows me to put all my energy and effort into table tennis.
Absolutely.
But
That's
also,
huge. Huh?
yeah, and also like the government,
Hmm.
there have been so many new schemes launched, the Khelo India scheme, top
Hmm.
scheme, which
Hmm.
really helps us
Correct. Yeah,
go all
absolutely.
out and
So when you
focus.
were 12, 13, starting to go to Germany, you were already identified by OGQ as a massive talent potential, potentially representing India, winning for us.
Yeah.
And what kind of support do they provide? Like, do they sponsor part of the trips to Germany or the
Yeah.
training there,
Yeah.
or financial support, or do they also provide like technical
Yeah.
kind of support?
So it is financial support, and then also they have a team of mental trainers, nutritionists,
Hmm.
physios, SNCs. So it's all
Which
like
started at that age already.
yes, yes.
Brilliant.
So
Hmm.
really a great help
Hmm.
to.
So how many years did you continue to go to Germany?
So I still go whenever possible, but like I
Hmm.
said, initially it was a lot of time spending in Germany.
Hmm.
But now it has reduced because now I'm in the senior category, so there are
Hmm.
much more tournaments,
Yeah.
a lot
You
of
have to be
tournaments
active on the
actually.
circuit,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah.
So a lot of
Hmm.
international tournaments, Indian tournaments.
Hmm.
So it's pretty much packed all
Hmm.
around the year.
So what was then the breakthrough moment? So one obviously was this silver medal,
Yeah,
which was kind of the initial breakthrough from taking the sport seriously.
yeah.
But then once you started training in Germany, what was the breakthrough moment where you thought that, okay, this is a professional, much more than a passion now. It can
Yeah.
be a profession as well.
Um, I don't think there was any one such moment.
Hmm.
It was just like an ongoing thing, like
Hmm.
breaking from the under 15 level to the under 18 to the seniors.
Hmm.
So I think it was one milestone and one step at a time that helped
Hmm.
me get here.
Hmm.
But for instance, in the seniors, I would say like one of the big moments for me was when I got selected for the Commonwealth Games,
Hmm.
when I was part of the team. So that was my first event to be part of, a games event where it's completely a different
Ball game, yeah,
yeah,
as against a
it's
annual,
completely
yeah.
different
Hmm.
when there are athletes from all different sports and
Hmm.
being in that atmosphere and
Hmm.
so much to learn from them.
Hmm.
Also the Asian Games that we had, I was also a part of the team that time. So it really helped me gain a lot of experience and exposure from there,
Hmm.
seeing how the different athletes they prepare for the matches and
Hmm.
yeah, it was really
Hmm.
great.
When did you decide to pursue mixed doubles more than singles, or do you still feel like you are kind of in the mix for both?
Yeah.
Like,
uh, so in table tennis, I think it's not how it is in badminton or tennis where there are specialist doubles and specialist singles
hmm,
player.
hmm,
It's like everyone really plays
plays
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So but I think the breakthrough in mixed doubles really came, so me and Manusha, we started playing together 2 years back. And
2 years back.
yeah, 2 years back.
Wow. So all this training was always just individual, and you were playing all these tournaments.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. Individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, we always
You always
played
play doubles,
doubles, we
yeah,
always
yeah,
play singles, so
yeah.
it's like a mix of everything.
Hmm.
But 2 years back, we played our first international tournament,
Hmm.
and we reached the quarterfinals in that event. So,
Hmm.
even then, we really wanted to see how this combination works, how it would go
Hmm.
ahead, and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Hmm.
But as we went on training, we could see that this is really working well. Of course, there were a lot of things that we needed to
Work
adjust
on,
and
yeah.
work on because. We were lefty righty combination. I think that is something that really works well in table tennis when you have one lefty and one
Hmm.
righty.
Hmm.
So we really thought that this could be something that would really work well going forward.
Hmm.
So we started playing much better over the years, like understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses and adapting to each other's games.
Hmm.
And I think this year 2025 was really very very good for us.
Absolutely.
We won one title. We in the WTT contender event we reached the finals, and
Yes.
I
Made it
think
to the finals, yeah.
yes, we qualified for the WTT finals where
Hmm.
we were the first Indians to do so, and only the top
Massive.
8 pairs of the world qualify. So that really helped us, realize that we are on the right path and doing the
Hmm.
right thing. So
So I want to talk very much in detail about 2025, but a couple of things before that. So
yeah.
how did you find Manush? Like just training together somewhere? Like how did that work out?
Uh, it just started off like we asked each other if we would like to play
But
together.
he was playing in the circuit and you were
Yeah,
playing in the
yeah.
circuit.
It
You
was
knew each
always that.
other.
Yes. We knew each other,
Hmm.
but we were initially playing with different partners. But then we just thought
It
that
just clicked.
yeah, it just
It's
clicked.
like
We just
Beatles,
thought
4 guys from Liverpool. I don't know. It just happened. Yeah.
we just thought that
Hmm.
we could try how far we could go and how it would work on. And yeah, luckily it worked really well and just
It
clicked.
just clicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2025, like you mentioned, huge year, not just for yourselves, but as fans for India also, in a way that how you represent us.
Yeah.
What changed in this year? Like, you had a disappointing 23.
Yeah.
Right. You of course, over the years you're just honing on your skills, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things that changed overall this year, like in terms of support, in terms of mentality, in terms of skill? What would be those areas?
Yeah. So of course the Ultimate Table Tennis League, like it was started, and it's a great initiative because these kind of leagues really help to promote the sport. And
Hmm.
I've always wanted to play in this league, but I was very young and I was not really in the top. But I got a chance to play in 2023, and honestly, even though I did not win any match, I won like one game against many top players, and
And you felt good about.
I felt good about it. And I think at that time, it was more that I wanted the results so badly that I just realized that it just started going more and more away from me. So, although I did not win any match, like I said, that really helped me change my mindset. And the next year when I played UTT again, the first match I lost 0-3. But after that, I just told myself to just try to enjoy. And, it's a very different kind of a format, different kind of atmosphere. There is a lot of crowd. It's a mixed team event, which we are not so used to playing. And I really like it when there is a lot of crowd cheering and shouting. So I just tried to be in my own zone and try to enjoy and play. And I think that is the time I just needed that one break. And when I won that first match in 2024, that really changed everything for me. After that, I was able to really go all out and play and have fun with the crowd and the atmosphere and this system of format. So that is
Did you
something.
feel also some sort of a release of pressure that you had put on yourself
Yeah.
about the victory
Yeah.
itself?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
once that
Yes.
happens, yeah.
Yes. I think, like I said, just that one break when I was able to win that one match, it was just made me relax a little bit and enjoy the next matches. And after that, I was able to get out my best game. But also mentally, I think, in 2024, I missed out on the Olympics narrowly because I had an injury. Towards the end of 2023, I had an injury and I narrowly missed out on the Olympics. So definitely, I mean, it was very disappointing because that was one milestone that I had really set for myself. And when that did not happen, it really made me think things again.
Well, LA is not far away.
Yeah. But, like I said, the entire team behind all of this, my parents, my coaches, my mental trainer, they really supported me at that time.
Hmm.
And like I said, I completely changed the mindset, after that. This entire year, I think one thing that I have really been trying to do is uh, just enjoy and play, because
Hmm.
when I enjoy, I think I'm able to bring out the
Hmm.
best and
Hmm.
just have fun.
Yeah.
So
So help me understand the entire calendar, right? So there is, of course, UTT, which is the India's
yeah,
league, where we have different state teams,
yeah,
just like an IPL, so to
yeah,
speak, for listeners to
yes,
understand,
yes,
which happens in a window, and then year round you play WTT tournaments,
yeah,
which potentially give you some points and ranking,
yeah.
and then throughout the year, if you are ranked in the top 8 potentially, then you make it to the WTT finals. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes. So it's like, actually, it's like we don't have an off season, honestly speaking.
Hmm.
It's like we have the WTT tournaments almost all around the year.
Hmm.
So there are different kinds of tournaments. One is like the feeder events,
Hmm.
then is the contender, the star contender, the smash.
Hmm.
So the
And there are
smash is
different
like,
points for
yeah,
each.
there are different points. So the smash is like the highest level.
Highest. It's like a grand slam of
It's like a
tennis.
grand slam.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
exactly like a grand slam.
Hmm.
So there are these different tournaments,
Hmm.
and so the best 8 tournaments, that like your best 8 performances are counted in the ranking. So
Okay.
your best
Hmm.
8 performances help you gain a world ranking.
Hmm.
So you have to decide and pick which ones you want to play.
Hmm.
And apart from this, we have
So you might pick a smaller tournament, but you'll go potentially go and win it, or
yeah,
go
yeah,
higher and
yes,
get more points there, or you go to a tougher one.
yeah,
So okay,
yeah.
fair enough. Hmm.
So
So how many do you play in a year
wow,
typically between these 4 categories?
12 to 15 maybe.
12 to 15.
Yes, yes.
And majority of them are at which level of the four levels that you
Yeah.
mentioned, the contender, the
Mostly it's like contender, star
Hmm.
contender, and then the smashes you have to qualify through the world ranking.
Okay.
So normally these are the events that
Hmm. So you're playing 12 to 15 of these, and your best 8 will then
will count in.
And in the year of 2025, your best 8 made you into the top 8.
No, so that is for the mixed doubles event.
Acha, okay.
So also in these tournaments we have the mixed doubles. So
Hmm.
it's the same. It's the
Hmm.
same thing, even for the singles, even for the
Correct.
mixed doubles. So these
Hmm.
all points help you to get into the top 8.
Hmm.
So this is for the world ranking.
World ranking.
And then for the Indian calendar, we have another 7 tournaments national circuit. So
Hmm.
these help you to get a national ranking.
ranking. Hmm.
So, and for the selection in the team, it's like a combination of both the national as well as the international ranking.
Hmm. So you're playing 12 to 15 international events.
Yes.
That is giving you a world ranking.
Yes.
You're playing 7 to 10 Indian.
So there are 7, out of which best 4 are counted.
Best 4.
Yeah.
So you probably play 4 or 5.
5, yes.
Yeah.
Around 5.
And then you get the Indian ranking.
Yeah.
And based on that,
it's the selection.
Is the selection whether you make it to the India team, so to
Right.
speak, for Asian Games, for
Yes.
Olympics, and
Yes.
so on and so forth.
Yes.
And then in the world circuit, if you are in the top, then you play the finals.
Yes.
Which is what you had played in 25.
Yes. So the
right?
top 8 in the mixed doubles category and top 16 players in the singles
in the
category.
singles category. And you're the first Indian pair
Yes.
to play
me
in
and
the
Manush.
world.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Congratulations
Thank
for that.
you.
How was that where was that, and how was that experience?
So it was in Hong Kong, and I think a completely different level of sport,
Hmm.
When you say just the top 8 pairs, it's like every match, it's going to
It's
be
crazy.
like
It's critical, tough
it's
match. Yeah.
definitely very tough. But honestly, at the starting of the year, like, we did not even know if we would make it till the finals. But like I said, we had an amazing 2025, and we worked really very hard to qualify for this. We played a lot of tournaments, worked a lot on training and different aspects. So making it to the finals itself was
Huge achievement. Yeah.
huge achievement.
And on the way to that, you won the tournament in Tunis.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is part of Tunisia,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
How was it going to Tunisia and playing there? Like, did it feel very alien, or how was that?
Actually, we have played in Tunisia quite a lot of times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and we actually, every time, I think we have played very well over there. The conditions maybe suit us and stuff. So we have had some very good results even in the past in Tunisia. And I think we both were in very good form from the start of the tournament. I think especially, the finals match that we played against Miwa Harimoto and Sora. We had lost against them just 3 months back, and 0-3, like no chance. We had no chance
Hmm.
in that match. But it was the first time we made it to the finals in
Hmm.
a contender event. Like we had made it to the quarters, the semis, but never
Hmm.
reached the finals.
Hmm.
So the first time we made it to the finals in
Hmm.
Tunisia,
Hmm.
and we approached the match very differently. I feel this time, like we studied the opponents and did not go with too much expectation into the match. Like we just wanted to try to execute the strategy and play it to the best that we could. And
Hmm.
when we won one game and when we saw that it was getting close, I think
Hmm.
we could see that yes, it's possible that we can win
Hmm.
against them.
Hmm.
And I think it was one of the best matches that we both played. Like we really
Hmm.
supported each other throughout, and
Hmm.
technically I think we did the right thing. So that was one major
Going
achievement.
into a match like that where you've pair lost to that pair
Yeah, yeah,
recently, and that was kind of a 3-0 loss.
yeah,
Plus, you've never won a final before,
yeah.
and there's also a lot of expectations from yourself, from all the fans, all of that. Like, does it feel? Is there more pressure, or is there like, okay, we have nothing to lose, and you go all in?
uh, Honestly, in
You
this
don't
match
even
it
think about
was
it.
no,
Um,
of course, I mean it's there at the back of your mind.
hmm.
But I think going into this match, I think, like I said, we tried to just not think too much about what would happen because we knew we had lost against them before. And
Hmm.
this time we just tried to do things differently.
Hmm.
Like try to be on point in terms of the
Hmm.
technical tactical
Hmm.
stuff. And like I said, everything was just working the right way during the
Hmm.
match. And then we just got that confidence that yes, it is possible. So
And what's the belief going in? Like, do you feel like let's just play, like you said,
yeah,
like not worry about the result, let's just play, let's
yeah,
execute our strategy?
yeah.
Or do you still want to believe that we can do this, or you just don't think about that?
uh, I think different approaches work for different kinds of players,
Hmm.
but uh, I think it's a little bit of both. So of course that belief is very very important. If you don't have that belief, I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to be
you.
possible at
Hmm.
all. So you definitely need to have that belief. That's what works for me. Like
Hmm.
to have that belief that yes, I can do it,
Hmm.
but not to put too much pressure on yourself that okay, I have to win. Like I
Hmm.
said, when you want that result so badly,
Yeah,
many times it's
it
like
just slips
you
away.
just choke at that
Yeah,
moment. So
yeah.
it's having that belief, but
Hmm.
just trying to go out there and play your best.
Hmm. Absolutely. So that was like, that was the high moment, and then that also kind of helped you gain more points to
Yeah,
reach the
yeah.
finals. So, um, what is what kind of would be the target for 26?
So I think one of the major tournaments coming up are the Asian Games, which is in
Yeah.
2026. So
Hmm.
that is definitely going to be the main focus. And also we have the World Team Championships before that.
Hmm.
So I think, these are the milestones that lead up to ultimately, of course, the
The
Olympic Games.
Olympics. Hmm.
But so these are the major tournaments
Hmm.
that are coming up, and we just try to work on one tournament after the
Hmm.
other. There are
Hmm.
many WTT tournaments also in January, February,
Hmm.
ultimately
That
leading
you're
up to
leading up
the
to the
Asian
same.
Games.
Yeah.
Yes,
And is it a fair assessment to say that if you are in contention of a medal at the Asian level, given this sport is so dominant in
yeah,
Asia,
yeah.
you're probably in contention of an Olympic medal as well?
Definitely. I think it's completely dominated by, China, Japan, Korea.
Hmm.
So at the Asian level itself, it's so hard. It's like uh, the players which are top like 10 rank in the world are the same in Asia. It's like we have it's like as good as winning a medal there.
Well,
So
and
it's when you're able to win against these kind of countries, then it
hmm,
automatically helps you move closer to
hmm,
at the world level as well.
hmm. So, and currently in terms of your like training for Asian Games or training for upcoming events, what all, like, what's your day? What does your day look like an
Yeah,
average day?
yeah. So it's really very packed. So I have like almost 2.5 hours of on court table tennis session in the morning.
So you wake up and then that's the first training.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That also fitness like gym session or a speed session or something like that,
Hmm.
which also goes on for around 1.5 hour,
Hmm.
and then some rest in the afternoon, and then again in the evening around 2.5 hours of on court table tennis session.
Wow.
Yeah,
So 6, 7 hours just
Yeah.
fully on this?
Yeah, I think I spend more time in. I practice in Khajim Khana, so I think I spend more time there than at home.
I've spent a lot of time. I mean, I'm not from Bombay, but we used to run a football program there, so
Okay.
I know the place very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And how much does like how much effort is put into the mental side of things in terms of preparation, in terms of uh, mentality, in terms of visualizing wins? Like,
Yeah.
what does that look
Yeah.
like?
So yeah, I think mentally it's very very important. It's not just about the skills and about the technical aspect, but the mental side plays a huge role. Like at least after a certain level, when everyone is almost at par in terms of the technique and stuff, it's really the mental part that gets you to the other side. It's the difference between winning by 1 point or losing by 1 point. So
Hmm.
I have been working with a mental conditioning coach,
Hmm.
Mugda Bavre,
Hmm.
and like every before every tournament I make it a point to talk to her, or if I have anything even during the tournaments, it's very very easy. It's just one phone call away, and she's always really there, like if I need anything. And we work on
Hmm.
a lot of different techniques, like when I'm in the match, how do I focus on being in the present, because I think that is
Hmm.
something that is very very important,
Hmm.
to not worry about the future
Hmm.
or not dwell on the past. So just to be
Hmm.
present in that moment and be able to think quick in that moment. So
So, is there any tips or tricks that you use when you're so sometimes when you lose a very like if you make some silly
easy
errors
mistake. Yeah.
or if you lose a very tough point which could have gone either way,
Yeah.
like the mind starts thinking
Yeah.
about that, right? So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you do to get out
Uh,
of that?
so it's just about there is one thing called as a focal point technique. So it's like looking at one point, and that helps you reset the thinking
Hmm.
into a new point. So
Hmm.
treating every point as a new game kind of a
Hmm.
thing, like just trying to focus at each point. Of course, I mean it's easier said than done.
Done. Yeah, it's tough
It's
to just
yeah,
forget. Yeah.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
many times you're just focusing, how will I win
Hmm.
this point, or why did I
Hmm.
lose this point? But
Hmm.
that is something I think that really makes
Yeah.
the entire difference.
In cricket there is this happens a lot. Like
Yeah.
if you are a batsman and you get
Yeah.
beaten
Yeah.
in on a very good delivery, then you start thinking.
Yeah.
And there was I remember Virendra Sehwag doing an interview, and he said, I just don't like. For me, it doesn't even like I don't even need a technique. Like I just forget what's
Yeah.
happened and just look at the next delivery and move
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
And then what is the in your daily routine, what would be the role of tell us how OGQ helps, tell us how TOPS program helps, and what is still not covered from there and you have to cover personally.
Yeah. Oh, you mean in terms of the financial
Or
aspect, or?
any support. So for example, you are training 6 7 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
You need access to good quality infrastructure, you
Yeah.
need coaching,
Yeah.
you need your equipment gear,
Yeah.
you need nutrition,
Yeah.
mental coach, physical strength and conditioning coach, access to gym. So all of this has various financial impacts and also like support. So who does what, like how does all different organizations help you?
Yeah. Oh, so I practice in Khajim Khana,
So you
and
pay for that?
for Khajim Khana,
Yeah.
it's like I'm a member there.
You're a
So
member, so it's
yeah.
free to train.
Uh, yeah.
Or,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
the membership, you have
yes.
to pay
Yes.
for the
I mean, my
membership.
parents have
Yeah,
been members
forever.
forever.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so I think it's a very very good
But they
stadium.
allow you to train like 4 5 hours a
Yes.
day,
Yes.
which
It's like
is nice of them.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
anytime I want anything, I think they have been really supportive, like even at 6 o'clock in the morning and all.
Hmm.
And honestly, in Mumbai, it's very difficult to find such a place, especially with air conditioning.
Hmm.
So there it is available, and it's a good setup.
Hmm.
So it's really easy to train out there.
Hmm.
And also they have a gym just 2 floors below,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
that makes it really easy,
Hmm.
especially with traffic and stuff. It's really
Yeah.
close to home, so I
Yeah.
think that is something that has
And you,
been.
when you train, there are some coaches with you
Yes,
all the
yes,
time.
yes.
Hmm.
So my personal coach Sachin Shetty, he has
Hmm.
been, like I said, he
Hmm.
completely changed everything for
He's
me.
been with you since
He's
the
been
beginning.
with
Hmm.
me since the beginning, since
Hmm.
I ever decided to
Hmm.
take it up
Hmm.
professionally. He's
Hmm.
really been
Hmm.
there for me, and
Hmm.
also going to Germany, it was his idea to train with my coach Peter Engel, and now I've also started working with a Korean coach, Shin.
Hmm.
So, it's different. Like I said, it's dominated by these Asian
Yeah, you
countries
just
like
learn
China.
different from different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, learning different techniques from, like from Germany was the European style, from
Hmm.
maybe Korea is like a little bit different style of play.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
just trying to adapt what works for me, like trying to gain a little bit of everything and
Hmm.
seeing what suits my game. I think that has
So
been.
this training is more or less self-funded.
So OGQ has always been there. Like,
So that
yes, so OGQ helps.
and when you
Then
go for these tournaments, how does the economics of those work?
so when you're a part of the Indian team, it's
Hmm.
like there are some tournaments with SAI pays for, the Sports
Yeah.
Authority of
Yeah.
India,
Yeah.
and then when you play some tournaments by yourself, it's you
So
have
like,
to.
what about the WTT tournaments?
Yeah, so same
That's
thing.
yourselves.
So if the Indian team is going there, then it's funded by the
Hmm.
government,
Hmm.
or then you pay, and then OGQ has a fixed budget, so then they
Hmm.
reimburse or
Hmm.
all of this stuff.
Hmm.
So
Okay. And how does the TOPS program help? And tell us a little
yeah,
bit about that.
yeah. Um, so tops as well as Khelo India, in the like Khelo India is for the grassroots levels,
Hmm.
and they pick up certain players in this program which they see as potentials, and
Medal
then medal
prospects.
prospects. So
Hmm.
these are the players that that have a they pick them up, and then they try to help them financially.
Hmm.
And also the tops is for like the senior level.
Hmm.
So
You're a part of the TOPS program.
I'm part
right?
of the
Hmm.
tops.
Hmm.
So there are two groups. One is the development, and one is the core group. So
Hmm.
uh, so it's like they really help with everything, like if we need some tournaments which we want to play by ourselves,
Hmm.
we have to give it to them. And like the government has really been helping, and there are a lot of different schemes that have come up which
Hmm.
really helped us financially and
Hmm.
stuff. And also I
Hmm.
think the Maharashtra government,
Hmm.
they provide, like they have announced like monetary bonuses for good performances in like the Khelo India Youth Games, the national games, Commonwealth, Asian Games. So this itself has also really helped with the financial
Earlier in
part.
the discussion, we talked about how when you were younger and started going into Germany, it was an investment
Yeah.
which would pay off.
Yeah.
A lot of families, parents might not have the wherewithal to have the support. So
Yeah.
that potentially, knock on wood, you had, right?
Yeah.
Is it financially viable to play table tennis for players? Like if you're a top 50 player, let's say, top 100 player in India,
Yeah.
not even not talking
Yeah.
about globally, not as accomplished as you are. There is investment in training, there's investment in, I mean, even if you don't go abroad, there's
Yeah.
investment in equipment,
Yeah.
this, that.
Yeah.
So how do players make money? Like how do, like, if somebody is playing in UTT, how does that work?
Yeah.
And global level, how does that work?
Yeah. So like I said, these foundations like Olympic Gold Quest, and there are many other foundations now that have come up which are supporting a lot of players. And I think the major thing is these jobs, like in abroad, like every player that I've talked to
Is on their own.
yeah, is on their own, or they make money through the leagues. But in India, like when we have these kind of jobs, they provide some kind of stability,
Yeah.
and really help. But of course, like the investment depends on where also you're training. Like for me, if I was going to Germany, of course
It's more
it was
expensive.
much
Yeah.
more than if I
Mm.
was training just in India.
Yeah.
So that is there. But also this the UTT league,
Mm.
for those period of 15 days, like we are getting
Paid.
paid.
Yeah.
So that really helps it make the sport much more popular, and also financially it's helping us.
So there are 3-4 areas of support, right? So there is the job which pays you
Yes.
and gives you all the flexibility to be able to
Yeah.
train wherever,
Yeah.
however.
Yeah.
Then there is some government programs,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Whether, and you have to be at the top to potentially get access to
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
Then there's UTT, which will have salaries or compensation for
Yes.
players. And then at the WTT level, it's more
It's
prize
more
money
prize
based.
money based.
Yeah, depending on
Depending on
how
what
you,
round you
yeah,
reach, or where, like
Hmm.
how you perform.
how you perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean it's not like other popular sports, but I think it's just getting better over time.
So what would be some of the bigger, so which was the equivalent of the Grand Slams you mentioned, the top
Smash. Yeah.
Smash tournament? How much would be the prize money for a Smash tournament if somebody
Oof.
wins that?
I'm
You
not
might
very
not
sure.
recall. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not very sure.
that's fine. Yeah, but it is still a sport which needs to build professionalism in
Definitely, of
terms of.
course, of course.
And now let's talk a little bit about UTT specifically, because I feel like as an outsider to the sport,
Yeah.
I feel one big impact that UTT has brought in is that it Indian players' performances at the international level has started increasing,
Yeah.
improving.
Yeah.
And of course, it'll take more time, but I feel like that's been one big impact. Second is I feel like there's just more money for players. Like, even if it's not very big money, like
Yeah.
even some of the other sports, forget cricket, but
Yeah.
even like football or other sports, but at least there is some professional income
Yeah.
that comes from
Yeah.
there, and there's a pool of lots of players.
Yes.
What, according to you, has been the impact of UTT?
Um. So these kind of leagues really help. Not only it helps really to make the sport very popular, because
Hmm.
more and more people are able to watch this, and
Hmm.
it's like an IPL equivalent thing in table tennis.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
you know uh, we get many players from foreign, the best of the
Hmm.
players, and it's like in every team there is two foreign players and four
So you
Indian
get
players.
great exposure,
It's great, like
hmm,
spending time with them, practicing with them.
learning
You
from
get to,
them.
yeah, you get to learn so much, and really looking how they prepare for the matches, how they are
Hmm.
playing when things are not working, what they
Hmm.
change, and also playing against them when we are
Hmm.
playing in the league, when we get to play against them, and when we
Hmm.
are in India and we can win even one game against them.
Hmm.
It's giving us that confidence that okay, if we can do it here, why
Hmm.
not in
Hmm.
the big tournaments?
Hmm.
So I think that is something that has really helped the Indians perform better, to
Hmm.
gain this kind of experience and exposure, playing with them, training with them,
Hmm.
and then ultimately playing
Hmm.
against them in
And
other
these are some of the
tournaments.
best players in the world that
Yes.
come and play
Yes.
here, and
Yes.
we get to learn from
Yeah.
that. And also for some of our players who don't get too much WTT level
Yes.
exposure,
Yes.
this is phenomenal, right?
Yes.
Like otherwise, where would they
Where
play
would you?
them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, exactly like I said, for the younger group of athletes who are able to come into the league and be part
Hmm.
of the team,
Hmm.
practicing with them from such a young age,
Hmm.
to get this kind of an experience, like
Hmm.
how it worked for me, in
Hmm.
23, when I got a chance to play with, and also be in that kind of an atmosphere. It completely changes your
Hmm.
thinking and
Hmm.
uh, the way you approach a match.
Your 3 year journey has been phenomenal, right? At UTT, like in the sense that I think again, as from an outside perspective, we think of a match as a win or loss,
Yeah.
right? But as a player, as an athlete, you can gain a lot from a loss,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Which you did in 2023, like you
Yeah.
mentioned. Like
Yeah.
it started giving you confidence. Of course, you had the pressure of that to win a game,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like you learned a lot. And then fast forward to 25, where you're the highest paid Indian.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Uh,
More
I
than
mean,
the money
yeah,
itself, like
yeah,
how does
yeah,
that feel to have
yeah,
that tag on
yeah.
you?
So I was actually there for the auction, when this
Uh,
was going on. It was the first time that it was like an auction based thing, like teams
mm,
bidding for you, and
mm,
being there, all top senior Indian players out there, and
mm,
just seeing like all the teams wanting me, bidding, going from one team to the other. It was, I was just in shock, honestly, at that moment. Like I never really
mm,
expected it to happen that way,
mm,
but
mm,
that really gave me that kind of confidence, that I'm on the right path and doing the
mm,
right things, and seeing that all the teams wanted me in their
mm.
team. So that
Because they
really,
can see what they can see, right?
yeah,
In the sense that sometimes we don't know where we are. I mean, where others might think of us, but
yes,
if everyone's wanting
yeah,
you and willing to pay the highest amount of money for you,
yes,
at least it
yes,
gives you that boost, right? It
yeah,
must be a good feeling.
definitely. It
Mm.
was like, like I said, doing the right things. I'm on the right path, and that just helped me boost my confidence even more.
How do your parents feel about this tag of being the highest paid player in India?
uh, Great. I mean, like I said, they have
Must be
really
so
been,
proud of you.
yes. And it's not just about the wins or like the good things that happen. They have been such a backbone in this entire career of mine, that even when I lose a match, I think they are the ones who are really there to support me first. No matter how bad I am feeling, I think they have really been there for me throughout, like no matter what the result. And
Hmm.
because of this support, I'm really able to go out there and just enjoy. That pressure is not there on me that, okay, I have to win all the time. It's like they have been there for me through everything, and because of that, I'm like just
Yeah.
enjoying.
And you feel in such a great place that you have that support,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
What would be some of the things you felt like you could have, if some other facilities or support or training or whatever else, if you had a little more of, then you would have benefited from that, from any aspect, like doesn't have to be family or
Yeah. Yeah.
like government or federation or whatever.
Um, Fortunately, I think I've been very lucky to get the right things at the right time. I mean, I'm just happy with
Hmm.
whatever has happened.
Hmm.
I don't know what I would change about it, but
Hmm.
uh, I don't know. I
For
just
some
feel,
other younger players,
yeah, I
like,
just feel
hmm.
like, in these in China, Japan, Korea, I think they start from a very young age to play the sport.
Hmm.
And I think when they get it's like from 3 years or 4 years they're already playing the sport,
Wow.
whereas we start 8,
Eight,
9.
nine. Hmm.
So they always already have so much of a advantage in time,
Just the court time,
just the
yeah.
court time.
Hmm.
And I think all the coaches out there, they teach like from a young age the basic techniques that the players have been taught. It is very, very consistent.
Hmm.
And like I said, the court time as well as the technique, when they are playing the same kind of the technique from a young age, ultimately when they reach maybe 19, 20, they have got so much of experience and exposure that
Yeah, by
they're
that
able
time they
to.
probably have 10,000 hours over you or
Exactly,
something, then it
exactly. And
makes a
also,
huge difference.
these countries, they really promote giving chance to the younger players. Like, for
Hmm.
instance, in Japan, there is always a player, a very young player who's always in the team. So then, from a very young age, they have the experience of
Hmm.
being at the Asian Games, the
Hmm.
other big events. And when, like I said, when you have been a part of all this, when you're able to get such kind of experience and exposure at such a young age, when you finally have to play out there, you're like also mentally prepared for it.
Hmm. That's a great input,
That's,
because if you're a young player traveling with the team, you start getting that
yes,
experience.
and
I
you
mean,
learn so
imagine.
much from
Yeah,
the senior players.
yeah. When you first started playing with some of the Asian players, like at a younger age,
Yeah.
you would have seen, like, you can you tell a visible difference between the gameplay, or is it not so much in the beginning?
uh, so I think at a younger age the gap is not so much. I
Hmm.
feel as
As
the
we
transition
hmm,
comes from the juniors to the seniors, I think this is something
they
that
start
changes.
spirals, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, of course, now the next year is Asian Games. That's a big one for you. What does the qualification look like right now? Like, has the Indian team been s-
No, no, no.
no?
The team is just announced like sometime before the cutoff date
Hmm.
for the games,
Hmm.
and it's like I told you, it's a mix of the Indian
Performances
ranking
over
and
there.
the international
But
ranking
how
altogether.
long back will they take the ranking? Like, how will that formula work? Like, where do you stand right now in terms of being able to
Um,
be a part of the team? You feel confident?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it depends on the performance, but definitely like being one of the top pairs in the mixed doubles events, and also I'm India rank one now in the women's. So,
Come
I
on.
mean,
I
no,
mean,
no, no,
yeah.
no. I
So
mean,
that's what I wanted to ask. So between now and the summer, is there anything that can change that changes the team composition, or more or less it might have not been announced, but more or less the team is set?
so we still have
Slots.
two more like national ranking tournaments left, which
Hmm.
are like the national championships, which is one of the biggest tournaments in India.
Hmm.
And we also have some more international tournaments, like I said,
Hmm.
from Jan until the
Hmm.
games. So there are quite a few tournaments. So
So some places might be secure, but some
yes,
of the other places might be up for grabs in a way.
yeah,
Can we
yeah,
say that?
something like this.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And what would the training look like leading up to Asian Games? Like, will anything change in terms of intensity, in terms of where you train, in terms of being under Team India wing?
Yeah.
Like, would you continue the same type of training, or will things change
Yeah.
before the Asian
Yeah.
Games?
Honestly, preparing for an Asian Games or a Olympics, I don't think it's just a matter of the few months before that. I feel it's like an ongoing process for quite a few years.
Absolutely.
So it's one step at a time that ultimately leads up to performing in such big events. So it's not some major changes that will happen just before the games and all. It's just leading up, and uh, at the end of the day, it's how you execute in the match
But
out
will
there.
there be like what I meant to ask was, will there be like a Team India camp, so to speak? Like,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah.
there'll be an Indian coach.
Yes, right.
They would probably, you have your own personal coach, you
Yes,
have your
yes,
own
yes,
personal training,
yes.
but then maybe a month before
Yeah.
Asian Games, or how will that
Yeah.
work? Like
Yeah.
the India
Yeah.
camp? Mm.
So we have some camps, like, before such big events, we always have a camp so that all the team is together, and
Mm.
especially for the doubles combination, to practice together
Mm.
doubles, and
Mm.
or even for the teams to
Mm.
be together, for that bonding to be there. So we
Mm.
always have camps before such tournaments, and
Mm.
that helps us, work well together and be together before
Mm.
these events.
And in these, when you're representing yourself, indirectly representing India,
Yeah.
but you're representing yourself versus representing India in some tournaments, is there any say of the governing bodies on who your partner should be? Or if
Mhm.
you're playing with Manush all
Yeah.
throughout, then it's automatic that you'll be there, like
Yeah,
they'll be your
so
partner.
it's automatic, like, because we
Hmm.
have been playing, and we have been doing so well.
Hmm.
So I think that's almost like a
It's
fixed
not like
partnership.
they can come and recommend a different partner. It
No, no,
don't
no,
make sense
no,
anyway.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are also aligned for you to get a
Yes.
medal, and
Yes.
makes
Yes.
sense. Makes sense.
I think that once happened in tennis in the Olympics. I remember with Mahesh and Leander, there was some problem.
They just forced a different partner.
Yeah, they just forced a different partner.
Which was a
on team.
disaster
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
Like I think there was a time where we could have won a few more medals
Medals
in
exactly.
tennis, but it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
completely.
But for like LA 2028, it's like a 4-year process for every athlete. So
Yeah.
do you have in mind keep my first year should be like this, second, third, and like what is the preparation? Are you studying the opponents?
Yeah.
Where it will going to happen in LA? How do I my body clock and everything? Because that's going to be a
Yeah.
totally different
Yeah.
ball game.
Yeah. So I think leading up to the Olympics, it's like, there are different events and different milestones on the way, like the
Mm.
Asian Games, which is upcoming. So
Mm.
that is one step towards leading up to the Olympics, and of course we are going to play a lot of WTT events. Also, I think training together is something that is very important in terms of the doubles part.
Mm.
Like I said, when we are practicing together, we understand each other's game better, or what specific techniques would work, so that it complements the other one. So
Mm.
that is something that we are working towards, and
I
yeah.
think body clock and all might come a little closer
Yeah,
to.
I think it's a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
bit-
that will be a huge part of
Yeah.
it, and
Absolutely.
like studying opponents in table
Yeah.
tennis is very important.
Yeah.
I've seen some, like, there were some fights, UFC fights, where they were like an American athlete went to like Abu Dhabi, just was jet lagged,
Yeah,
so much of a time difference, just couldn't perform. Like it.
They reach
हाँ.
एक week पहले पहुंच जाते हैं.
Yeah.
हाँ. But what I'm saying is, like, as fans, we don't even consider these things.
No, yeah. I mean,
Right?
I think there is so much that goes beyond what
Hmm.
the other people see, like what
Hmm.
goes inside,
Hmm.
preparing just for these
Hmm.
events.
Hmm.
Of course, when you're traveling from one country to the other, the travel
Hmm.
is so long, and
Hmm.
jet lag, yeah.
Hmm.
It's luckily, I think I don't get so jet lagged, but I try to manage that, like.
You would have traveled all over the world by now, like
Yeah.
doing 12. What are some of the big, like, fun countries you've visited or you've enjoyed the
Mm,
most?
Oh, so we recently went to Brazil and Argentina. I
Oh
think
my
that
God,
was,
like
yeah,
heaven.
that was fun.
But do you
So,
usually get some time to like take some time off from these?
yeah.
I mean, or probably not. Like you have
No.
such a packed calendar.
Yeah, so previously I would really just play the tournament and come back, but now we are trying to find some time, just maybe
Hmm.
one day
Hmm.
after the tournament to just roam a
Hmm.
little bit. Like in Brazil, we went to the Sigasu Falls, so that was really nice.
Hmm.
In Hong Kong now we went to this ocean park, so just
Yeah.
something to
Hmm.
relax and not just focus on
Focus
table
on-
tennis all the time.
So this year, how many countries did you visit?
Oh, I don't really remember, but
But if you played like 12, they must have been
yeah,
all
yeah,
in different
all in
parts of the
different
world.
parts. Yes, yes. So we went to US, we went to Argentina, Brazil, we went to Sweden. So
Wow.
really very, very hectic year.
And do you feel like um these travels and being a part of such a diverse competition where there are people from all over the world, it has also made you a better slash more open, different human being? Like, what are some of the personal traits of
Yeah.
the sport that you adopted?
Yeah. So initially, I think I was, very, I should not talk so much to people and be
Hmm.
just within myself.
Hmm.
But it's very lonely if you do this. Like, it's not everywhere that you're going to have
Hmm.
somebody from your close
Country or
circle
school or
or
close circle,
always
yeah.
be there for you. So, and it gets very lonely over the tour. So I think it's very important to, speak to people and, have some time, not just within yourself, like also
Hmm.
talk to other people and try to enjoy. So
Hmm.
I am mainly an introvert, but then when it comes to, going out and spending time, like definitely I would, when I'm back home, I really need the family time and being with
Hmm.
my close friends and stuff.
Hmm.
But when I'm out there on the tour, I try to,
Hmm.
talk to people and just open up a bit.
Amazing, amazing.
One question
Huh.
related to this only I had, and I wanted to ask this question to like all young athletes. So there is a thing like because you're so focused on your sport, you miss out on like the social growth, like on the
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, on life.
camaraderie,
Yeah.
the fun. So
Yeah.
like, is it ever in your mind that you regret it or you managed it well? Because now people are learning also how to,
Yeah.
and like what is the scene with your friends and
Yeah.
like school friends? Like if you're saying you
Yeah.
went to class only thrice in class
Yeah.
10, like they would never see you.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. Yeah. Um, so also, like, I started going to Germany at a very young age and traveling a lot. So was very, very difficult to make friends and to stay in touch all the
Hmm.
time. And I missed out on almost every social gathering that we had or anything like that. But um, luckily, my mom, like when I was younger, she always accompanied me. Like when I went to
Hmm.
Germany when I
Hmm.
was 12, she was always there for me and she
Hmm.
accompanied me at that time.
Hmm.
So at least it was a little bit less lonely.
Hmm.
But then when I came back, like I said, my family made it a point that when I'm here to try and arrange something that when I'm
Hmm.
back at home to get some time together
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
uh, to arrange something of
Hmm.
that sort. But
But
yeah.
it's a huge sacrifice, if I can use this word,
Mm.
on your social life, on your like imagine
Just schooling,
the
like
Yeah.
schooling,
schooling
like
is so important.
regular
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
regular things that a child
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
it's just such
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
sacrifice.
And every professional athlete goes through, like
Yes,
every
Is
all of
for
them.
sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I wouldn't call it as a sacrifice. I think it would just be some decisions that I had to
Yeah,
make.
trade-offs.
Yeah,
Trade-offs.
yeah.
Huh.
It's like I know what my goal is, and I think to achieve that, I'm willing to make these decisions and do it. I mean, it's like if I want that so bad, I think
Hmm.
this is something that
Yeah, it's
I'm,
just a
I'm
part of
happy to
the
do.
game.
Yeah,
But Dia, what happens is like you're a brilliant success story, right? And you have such a long way to go.
yeah,
But where we miss out and don't like appreciate is the thousands who would have not made the news, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah,
And you've given up so much
yeah,
as a part of this trade-off.
yeah,
And if you're not able to,
yeah,
get the results that you
yeah,
desire, then it becomes such a, and that's where I think as a country we lack that culture of sporting culture where we are happy to greet our heroes
yeah, yeah,
and give them accolades and shower them with money and love and all of that, but that entire like thousands of athletes who've been fighting the system, no resources, and then if they don't make it,
yeah,
then it just is
yeah,
like 10, 15, 20 years of effort just
yeah,
gone like that,
yeah,
not recognized, no support
yeah,
whatsoever.
And
yeah,
they've had no life experiences
No
at that point.
life experiences
yeah,
They've just
also, yeah.
like even joining a new job, working, it's very
Absolutely,
tough.
it's so difficult,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. One last question from my side, since you're now the most expensive Indian player, what is your thought and like management of finances in terms of your winnings and what you get from UTT? And like what was like your first big purchase as after you started become earning well from
Yeah.
the
Oh,
business.
first big purchase. Yes, that's a good one.
And financial management is also
Yeah.
so important
Yeah,
nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
athletes are getting taught so much about it.
yeah. Um, so in terms of the management of the finances, I think, like I said, all these different entities that have really helped me and my family throughout.
Hmm.
Uh, oh, big purchase.
Big purchase. What's been the
Uh,
first check? First check was when? First prize money or first time you got money was do you recall that?
not really.
Not
No,
really?
no, no, no.
But you must have started getting, like, when you started going to the WTT, like at least some participation money and all
Yeah.
of that.
I mean, that's also there in the national
National
tournaments. Like
tournaments.
when we win, we get a certain
Hmm.
amount of prize money
Hmm.
and stuff. But
So you have no big purchase that you remember, no like fancy clothes or a
not
car
really,
or
not really.
Or something that interests you, like
yeah,
shopping, or like
yeah.
what is also like your de-stress mode.
Mhm.
Like, do you like watching shows?
Yeah.
What do you do
Yeah.
generally in your off time to
Yeah.
like decompress
Yeah.
from all the stress of
Yeah. Not really shopping so much, but
If you don't remember your first big purchase, then definitely not shopping.
no, not shopping. But I think one of the things when I come back home is definitely catching up on some sleep. Like that is something that I really
What an
need.
athlete's answer to give.
That
It's
is
like, how do
something.
you de-stress? Like, I just sleep.
No, so
Yeah.
sleeping, and I like watching movies, shows. So whenever I'm back, try to go to the theater, watch some movie, and
Mm.
just spending time with the family. I know
Mm.
that since a young age I've been away
That's been
so much
yeah.
that just being around
Mm.
my group
Yeah.
is like something really helps me get
Mm.
my mind off table tennis and just
Mm.
reset.
Amazing.
Is your mom still traveling with
No,
you for
no, no.
tournaments? So now it's on you
Now
on
I'm
your
on my
You
own,
and your
like
coaches and
yes,
whoever.
with
Yeah.
the team
With the
or
team.
with
And just on a parting note, what would be a message you'd give to young athletes who aspire to be like 8, 9, 10-year olds who aspire to play TT like seriously,
Yeah.
and especially to the girls out there?
Yeah. So fortunately table tennis is like a gender equal sport. It's not like uh there is a difference between the men and women, so that is
Mm.
something that is really great, and that gives the even the women a great opportunity to be equal in the sport.
Mm.
And I think the women have had some great achievements over the past years in table tennis. So I really see that like
That's
as
yeah.
a good thing. And a message, I mean, I'm still very young, but one thing like I would like to say is when you really want something and you're really determined about it, I think just go all out. You should not have regrets that you did not try, regret of not trying to give it your all. So I think just go all out and work hard, and don't look for short term results.
Mm.
In the long run, if you work hard and you do everything that you can, I think the hard work will definitely pay off.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I have a very strong feeling that we'll probably do another one with a medal in your hand next year. But you have to make a promise that you have to come back,
Yes, for
come
sure.
back here. But all the best, and you're such a bright, um, humble, well thought out, like with a very stable head on your shoulders, young professional, that it's such a so refreshing to kind of connect with you. And I really wish that you can represent our country as well as yourself at the highest level. And thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you
Really
so much for
appreciate it.
having me. It was
Thank
really
you.
great.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
So guys, if you like this podcast, please consider subscribing to my page. Of course, like करो यार, कुछ comments लिखो, बताओ कि किस और guest को बुलाएं. We are covering all of sports industry, business of sport, administrators, players. बताओ कि किसको बुलाएं. अब ये मत बोलना विराट कोहली को बुलाओ, अभी इतना बड़ा नहीं हुआ podcast, but करो बड़ा फिर.